Dragon Ball Super Superhero. One of my most anticipated films for the rest of the year, just for the same fact that I love Dragon Ball. Now, Dragon Ball Super, I'm not fully caught up on yet. I know most of the story, but I have loved Dragon Ball Super Broly. I thought that movie was phenomenal. And overall, I've really loved what they've really started to do with some of the characters. But in particular, if you are a Dragon Ball fan, then you know they've been kind of doing my boy Gohan a little bit dirty over the last couple of years. And the whole premise of this movie has seemingly been to give Piccolo and Gohan the forefront, as well as some of the other side characters, and not really much focus on Goku and Vegeta. And to say that I was very much impressed with this movie would be an understatement. Now, I don't think this movie is perfect. I still prefer Broly overall as a film, but when it comes to high intensity moments, when it comes to amazing action sequences, and when it comes to us, fans who want Piccolo and Gohan to absolutely go berserk, that is what we got. And I'm so happy to say that Dragon Ball Super Superhero lives up to the hype, but also delivered something that really surprised me. I say that specifically because the trailers were really good, but I had some issues with when they said that they were changing some of the animation. I know some other fans have the same thing. So I'm very excited to talk about this movie. This will be a non-spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, definitely go check it out this weekend if you're a Dragon Ball fan, and come back and let me know your thoughts, as well as make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so we can keep talking movies and TV over here on a daily basis. Who is your favorite Dragon Ball character? I will have my list up in a couple of hours after this review debuts, as well as my favorite villains, so make sure to look out for that. But let's dive right into this video, and diving in, Dragon Ball Super Superhero is about the Red Ribbon Army was once destroyed by Son Goku, but individuals who carry on its spirits have created the ultimate androids Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. However, these two androids call themselves superheroes and start attacking Piccolo and Gohan, which, again, focusing your movie on Piccolo and Gohan is, in a way, a risky move. And I say that because most people who come to Dragon Ball, when it comes down to the outsiders who, in a way, maybe aren't versed all in Dragon Ball, they focus mostly on Goku and Vegeta. Those are their two favorite characters. But for me, back in the day when it came down to Dragon Ball Z, one of my favorite characters was Gohan. Gohan was the character that I was just obsessed with. I felt the most relatable to him in some way, shape, and form, and I loved the relationship that he had formed with Piccolo himself, and in some ways, us fans can say that Piccolo was his real father. Like, let's just be honest with that. And I love how this movie really hones in and touches into that relationship, but as well as what Gohan has been doing, and really much the disrespect that I don't think the writers have really much given to Gohan, but in a way that Gohan has kind of done to himself, you know, in the way, and I know the writers technically done that, but the way that Gohan's kind of just buried himself in his studies more, and you see that in here, and I liked the progression of getting him to where he needs to be, and I also really liked that they actually made Pan pretty much canon in here, and I thought Pan was awesome. I thought that was a great avenue to bring in here, and I overall just think this movie has all the elements of what you love about Dragon Ball. It has some amazing action sequences, it has some badass score, it even has some badass surprises in here as well, specifically like something that happens in the third act, which the second it was introduced midway through the film, I'm like, all right, I know where this movie's going, and we're going to talk about that in some of my mixed category, but the second it started going there, I'm like, this is going to be pretty freaking badass. But I really liked how this movie focused on the side characters. You know, you get a little bit of Krillin in here. You get a little bit of Trunks in here. You get even a little bit of Android 17 in here. And I was really impressed with that. But I also like that they did bring back the Red Ribbon. That's something that I have not heard about in years. And I also like that the villains for this were androids, specifically because Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are really cool characters and awesome ones, in fact, that I hope, in a way, they explore more of them in the future, whether it is a prequel or a little side story. I think there's enough in there and enough material to really hone in and touch into them to see how you could focus in on them within the context of the story, maybe some certain in-between elements in here, and also certain things that go on with the creator. Now, one thing I do want to talk about when it comes down to this movie was, again, Piccolo and Gohan. They are two characters that I have absolutely loved for years, and I think they were absolutely awesome in here. There are certain things in here that Gohan does that I was just like, jaw on the floor, eyes wide open, super excited. But there is one thing that I was criticizing the entire film based on, and that was judging a book before I actually saw it, and that was the animation. I'm very particular when it comes down to animation and specifically Dragon Ball, because I don't feel like there's enough 2D animation nowadays. I feel like everything's going so CGI and 3D, and sometimes it really works and sometimes it doesn't. Dragon Ball is jumping into that new version of kind of anime where it looks 3D-ish, but it has some 2D tendencies to it. And what they have in here from the trailers was not impressed by. After seeing the movie, it's awesome. And I know there's some rumors that a new series might be coming out, and I hope they use that animation. I hope going forward this is actually the animation they decide to use, because it is awesome. And I think this is how you do CGI animation well. And it's badass, it's awesome. And just, again, I know this is a non-spoiler review, so I don't want to dive too much into Gohan and what goes on with him and Piccolo and certain maybe new special abilities that you see in here, but they are animated to such an amazing way that it put a big delightful smile on my face. The same thing goes for, again, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Some of their abilities also play into this animation, and that's just one of the things, like watching this movie, it just put a big delightful smile on my face. There's so many fan-pleasing moments in here, and that's one of the best elements of this entire film that I am going to enjoy putting this one on to just watch myself. But I do want to talk about some of the mixed categories for this movie and some of the things that I didn't downright not like, but I was a little bit mixed on. I think for an hour and 40 minutes, this movie is a little bit too short for the story that they're trying to tell, and in a way, it kind of rushes into everything. At first, it really builds up, okay, who's the Red Ribbon, and kind of explaining everything to newcomers in a way, but then it kind of just sort of dives in. And the reason that I really liked Dragon Ball Super Broly was because I felt, for the most part, because when I saw that movie, I was not really versed into anything Super. I was caught up for the most part on every single storyline, on every single character that I needed to know for that movie. For this one in particular, I didn't feel completely, that I took my fiance, for instance. I don't feel like she knew or understood most of the stuff going on. She enjoyed it for what it was, but for me in that instance, I like to see how a casual fan can go into this and see this. And I do wish they maybe would have taken a little bit more development, whether it comes down to Piccolo and Gohan's relationship that's going on in here, or maybe even Piccolo or Pan, and furthered out everything a little bit more. They focus a lot on the Red Ribbon, but I wish they would have focused a little bit more on our characters per se, and the main ones that we come to see in the movie. And that's one of the biggest issues that I have with the movie, but it's not even really an issue, it's just something that I wish they would have done, as well as the build-up to the final fight is predictable. I knew exactly what was going to happen from point A to point B to point C, where in Broly, maybe was clueless at the time of watching it, but I did not see where they were actually going to go with that. In here, the second they start layering out certain things, I'm like, all right, that's going to happen here. Okay, it happened. Now this is going to, oh yes, that is. And it's awesome. And something that happens at the very end, like this gigantic climactic fight that I did not see in any of the trailers, is superb and excellent. And I love how it all ties into the past of Dragon Ball, and specifically Dragon Ball Z, certain things that had happened with the Android saga and other things that happened with the Red Ribbon. And I really love that they were able to bring that back, because as someone who, one of my first animes in the world was Dragon Ball Z. That was the first actual anime that I watched. It was quite fun to see this kind of come back to fruition. And while again it was a little bit predictable, I like those callbacks. I just wish the build up to that was a little bit better. And that kind of still goes to my issues of it being a tad bit rushed to that entire point. But still, I digress. I had so much fun with Dragon Ball Superhero. I didn't blow out of my mind amazing out of this movie like I did with Broly, or even Demon Slayer Mugen Train, which I still think is one of the best anime films to come out over the last couple of years. I think this one's fun. I think it's a lot of fun for Dragon Ball fans. I think casual fans, or maybe people who are not huge into the verse of Dragon Ball, probably will not be huge on this one. They'll probably enjoy it, but I thought this was really good, and I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought the action was superb. I thought Gohan and Piccolo were great, and I love that they got the forefront. I can't wait to see, hopefully, that they continue something there, because Goku and Vegeta are in the movie, but not that much. And I was really happy to see that, because when they started bringing them, I'm like, okay, how are they going to bring this? Are they going to go back and forth? And they don't. They're really in this for maybe less than 10 minutes. And it was the perfect amount of runtime for what they needed it to be. But overall, I thought a little bit more build-up probably could have worked for the film overall. But again, animation, all that is stunning. I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy this, specifically if you're a Dragon Ball fan. So with all that said, I'm going to give Dragon Ball Superhero a B+. Once again, guys, for watching this, you guys are really all the best. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Once again, comment down below your thoughts. And if you're looking forward to more exclusive content from me, make sure to check out that Patreon down below. But of course, guys, until next time, stay classy.